it's kind of a cool thing. Kind of a cool rule of thumb to know for single fins. It changes a bit with the side bites because you don't need as much of a single fin. But say over here, right? A good rule of thumb is you take the length of your surfboard, right? But so say this is a 9/6 surfboard. Then you pretend that 9/6 is in inches, so 9.5 inches, and then you add an inch. A 10.5 inch fin would theoretically be the size fin you would use for a 9/6 longboard.
Interesting. So why is that?
Got me. Experts told me so, and it seems to work.
This is what they say.
This is what I've been told. However, as a woman and as a lighter person that tends to surf longboards on softer waves, I find a 1/2 inch actually less than that to be quite good. So this is pretty well sized actually. So like a 9/6 board to a 10-inch fin is a pretty good combo. I like mini longboards personally. I've got like a mini longboard, but with still all the log characteristics. And it's an 8/6, and I ride it with a 9-inch fin, and I love it.
Okay. So maybe while we're talking about fins and longboards, what about placement in the box? Because, you know, there's some wiggle room here, so you could have the fin all the way to the front, all the way to the back, somewhere in the center. How do you know where to put it?
I like to just play around and see what feels like. Different boards are going to feel differently. Again, like what you were saying, some people are extremely opinionated. I saw a post from Joel Tudor the other day, and it was him with a measuring tape here to here on the board, and he was like, never let your shaper make this space longer than 4 inches. I think to each their own.
But let's just say, how would it change?
How would it change? That's there we go. So this one's like pretty much right in the middle of your box options here. If you were to ride this fin at its extreme, almost all the way to the tail, the board would be super duper stiff. It would hold really well and down the line, and while nose riding, provided there wasn't too much tail rocker, but that's a totally different day. But it would hold super well, but it would be extremely difficult to turn because to get your back foot all the way over that fin would mean you would also almost have to fall off the back of the board. The further forward your fin is, the easier you're going to be able to turn the board because it moves your pivot point forward. Like on a big single fin, you're going to be pivoting around this fin, as opposed to kind of like carving rail to rail as you would on a shorter board, either with more fins generally. So if you think of this as your pivot point, as you move the board forward, what you gain in maneuverability, you do lose in stability, especially in the pocket. If you're nose riding or anything like that, it is a little bit more likely to let loose. I do prefer it a little further forward personally.
Okay, so just to wrap that up, so when you're trying to decide where to put your fin in the fin box, the further forward you put it, it's gonna be easier to turn.
Yeah. But
it might be swiggly, and if you are trying to work on nose riding or cross stepping, it might be more likely to pull out of the wave.
Supposedly, yes.
But if you pull it further all the way to the back, you're going to have more stability, but it might be harder to turn unless you get way back there.
Yes.
So aim for the center.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't feel good, you can try it one way or the other.
And what's really cool, if you're getting a new fin and at your shop, ask them if they've got these kind of fin plates, because then you can play with your fin positioning super easily without having to bring a screwdriver to the beach. Because most longboard fin boxes will have a fin plate and a screwdriver and everything, but if you can get these little guys, you can just, assuming it's been done recently, you can undo it by hand and you can play with the position on your own, even during a session.
Otherwise you need pliers.
Yeah, otherwise you need pliers.
And there's this little rubber spacer thing that in the tropics or over time just to wear out and become nothing. There's no perfect situation. Okay. But the other thing I find is annoying is with these ones is it's hard to get the screwdriver in there.
They put it behind there?
I always look for fins that have the plate in the front for ease of access, whether it is fingers or screws.
And that's good to know for fin design in general. Actually.
Yeah, why would you do that? This is just for design.
Yeah.
They're not thinking clearly on that one.
Listen up, fin makers.